What's up guys, Mike Delmarva Backyard. Today on the menu, Sirloin Tip Roast. Never done a sirloin tip roast. Reason I have a sirloin tip roast is we did half a cow with a family member, and in our half of the half is a sirloin tip roast. So done some research on it, and I know it comes from the upper thigh and where the hip connects to the upper thigh. It's a lean piece of meat, and you got to cook it just right to make sure that it's going to be good and tasty, and that's what we're going to attempt to do today. All right, so we're going to rub it down with some new oil here. We got International Collection Smokehouse oil. Picked that up. Figured I was going to give it a shot, see how it did. And then I've got my own rub that I use for stuff like this. I'm going to put that on there. So stay tuned. We're going to try and make this sirloin tip roast come out just right. All right, guys, here we go. We got our sirloin tip roast, and we got it in the sink here because we're gonna rinse it off nice and gently, get all the butcher cuttings and the blood and all the juice off of there, and just freshen it up a little bit so that we can trim it, and then we'll get our oil and our rub on there. Okay, so just a little bit of gentle water. Nothing too serious, just a mild rinse, and just something simple. And then we're gonna come back and we're gonna pat it off with some paper towels just to get all the excess moisture off of there. There we go. Pat it off dry. Trying to get that excess moisture. All right. Now the sirloin tip roast, like I said, is it's a leaner cut of meat, and it can tend to be a little bit chewy. So you wanna try to look for any pieces that isn't going to render properly. Same with any cut of beef. You're going to look for those pieces of silver skin, things that are hanging off, some things that just aren't presenting properly, and get those off of there. I have seen, where some guys that are better with their butcher skills than I am have went ahead and cut into this thing a little deeper, and where you can see where those sections of meat come together, and they'll cut those right out of there. But in all honesty, that's a little out of my league on this guy. This is the first one of these that I've messed with, and I'm just going to kind of stick to what I know here. I'm going to get these outer sections off. You can see that stuff's much thicker than what we want on there, and we're going to try to trim that off of there best that we can. You can kind of pull at it. Kind of use your knife to cut at it. Just try to get it off there best that you can. And I'm going to keep working at this guy. Like I said, just do the best that you can. Get it cleaned up as much as you can. Get that kind of stuff right there off. And then I'm going to come back to you here in just a few. All right, guys, here we go. We got this Smokehouse, this International Collection Smokehouse olive oil, and we're going to try this out on this sirloin tip roast. I've had good luck with this kind of oil, and we're going to give it a good shot. This International House Smokehouse oil, we'll give it a shot. I think it's going to turn out real nice. It'll help this sirloin tip roast take this rub real nice, and you're just going to pour it on, get it on there, so it's a nice even coat. And you want to get all sides, get nice and liberally. There you go. Massage it in there so it's going to get that rubs to take nice and evenly. All right. And just gonna get the rub ready with my clean hand, and the rub is it's brown sugar. It's your typical paprika, your salt, your pepper, your garlic, and your onion. And the amounts, well, that's up to you. Everybody likes to change those amounts up. And, it's just the typical ingredients. But I'm going to sprinkle it on here. And I'm going to just try to do it as evenly as possible. I'm not going to put it on as heavy as I would some cuts of meat, like a brisket. I'm not trying to bark this thing up too hard. I'm just trying to get a nice flavor to soak into this. Never done one of these before, so I'm playing it a little bit cautious. Got to be careful about getting too much rub falling down into the creases of the meat there. You want to just you get any that falls down there too much, just kind of try to pull that back out. Make sure you get the edges. You definitely want to get flavor on the edges of the meat. Nice and gently. Pat it in. I like to pat. I don't do much rubbing on the. I know it's a rub, but you don't do a whole lot of rubbing unless you accidentally spill too much on there. Then you just kind of rub it back out. Sprinkle it on. Look at how that oil is helping that rub soak right in there. That's just nice. Oh, got a little too much right there. See, I'll rub that back out. No big deal. Get those brown sugar balls off of there. This is looking real nice. It's just helping that meat suck it right up. That's looking pretty. There we go. All right, guys. We're out at the Rectech. We're going to get the Rectech warmed up to about 220 degrees. Because at 220 degrees, that's when the most smoke, 200 to 220 degrees, that's when the Rectech and most pellet smokers put out the most smoke. And that's what we're going to do. The Rectech is wonderful because it maintains a consistent temperature and you can just set it and forget it. And that's the beauty about the Rectech and other pellet grills, but the Rectech exceptionally. So I've already got it warmed up. You can see the smoke is already started. And it's so simple. You push the power button, you set the temperature. 15 minutes later, you're ready to go, okay? So here we go, we're gonna get started. All right, guys, the Rectech's ready for us. Got one more thing I wanna do with the Rectech today, just to give us a little extra pop. And that's this, this smoker tube here by Amazing. I don't know if you can see that. Smoking products. And these supposedly give you an extra pop with smoke. And we'll give that a shot. See how that goes. Best way to light it, from what I understand, is with a torch. Here like that. So they're nice and hot, right at the tip there. And then what they'll do is, as they burn and smolder, they'll work their way on back. Or that's the idea anyway, we hope. Now we got our Sirloin Tip Roast. We're gonna slide him on there. Just like that. The last step is your thermometers. I use the iGrill 2. I think it's a wonderful device, works well. I usually go with one that I just kind of hang here. Just to get the inside temperature. And then for the meat, I'm looking for the center, no fat. Kind of go right about there. Not too deep, because you want to be right in the middle. And that's our setup right there. We're going for 220. We're going to go for about an hour. Lots of smoke. You can see this right here. already doing a lot of good force, and it's opposite of the stack. That way that smoke will draw through and get our meat. We'll shut the lid. What's up, guys? We're looking at the iGrill 2 interface on my iPhone. Looks like the temperature in the grill is a little warm right over that smoker tube, which is 230. I think that's because of the heat coming off the smoker tube, because that Rectech is known for being within a degree or two of being right on the money. You can kind of see the temperature dropping back down. I think it's spiked just a little bit with that smoker tube. The meat is looking at 110, and we're about an hour in, and we are going to go and raise the temperature up to 250, and that's going to put us on pace to finish. I think we may finish a little sooner than I originally thought. I was thinking a total of about 3.5 to 4 hours, but we're still going to keep it low and slow. Like I said, it can be a tender. Back out at the Rectech, guys. As you can see, 220 degrees is what she set at on the phone, and everything is looking wonderful. Smoker tube's doing its job, working real nicely, and you can see the probe here. It's going to get that little bit of extra heat. It's sitting right over top of the tube. Beef's looking beautiful. No need to baste it or spray it, spritz it. You can see it's very moist, and I don't see any need in messing with it. So we're going to shut the grill. I don't normally open the hood up too much, but I wanted to give you an idea of what's going on. And we're going to raise her up to 250. Now the Rectech will still let you do extreme smoke. I think 250 is about the number, and that just increases your smoke content. But the higher the temperature you go, the less smoke content you get. Check our pellets in the Rectech. We're plenty good there. All right, guys, we're out at the Rectech, and we're about to pull our sirloin tip roast off the grill. And let's take, oh my goodness, look at that smoky goodness. That is so nice. Let's go ahead. You can see that is just a wonderful, wonderful color there. And that amazing smoker tube it lasts about 4 hours. You can see it's right at the end. And that did just what we expected it to do. That's perfect. Can you get focused in on that sirloin tip roast there? It might be hard to see. The probe seems to be coming out and in nice and easy. I don't know how the meat's going to end up, but it sure looks wonderful. Let's go ahead and get this guy off the grill and get him on the board, and let's get him inside and try him out. This is going to be good. We'll see you inside. All right, guys, we're back inside. We got the sirloin tip roast on the board. But before we can slice into it, we got to wrap it and let it rest. All right? And it, oh my gosh, look at it. It looks amazing. I don't know how it's going to taste, but it sure looks amazing. We're going to wrap it in some paper. We're going to let it rest for about a half hour. And I'm going to see you back here, and then we're going to try this guy out. All right, guys. It's been a half hour. And our steak is rested. Gotta let all your meats rest. Depending on how big the meat is, you know, how long you want to let it rest for. A steak, which is what this is about a half hour or so. And just look at that. That is absolutely amazing. Just so juicy. So juicy. All right, so we're going to cut against the grain. It's going to be over here. Oh, it's just so tender and juicy. There. Nice smoke ring right there. Now, what you want to do with this cut of meat is you want thin slices, because it is part of the upper thigh and it tends to run a tougher cut. But as you can see, I don't know if you can zoom in on that or not. That's just real juicy. And that smoke ring is beautiful. Let's cut another one. It's got just a wonderful smell to it. Come here, Ethan. Come get you a piece. Let me know what you think. Cooked to a wonderful medium rare. Hold on, get you on camera. Give it a shot. Good flavor?
Amazing. Juicy, amazing flavor.
Real juicy. Definitely taste the smoke. Beautiful flavor. Very tender. You can tell it's a leaner cut of meat though. But it's still, I mean, it's still wonderful. For the cost, these cuts of meat, very, very, very reasonable. Nothing like a brisket. Very much more reasonable than a brisket. So, if you cook it right, just like this, you can enjoy a nice chunk of meat very, very reasonably. It's your sirloin tip roast, guys. Guys, thanks for joining us on Delmarva Backyard. I hope you enjoyed the video. The sirloin tip roast is it's a cheaper, cut of meat. It definitely runs, more on the lean side. It's not going to be a fall apart brisket when you cut into it. So if that's what you're expecting, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be a little bit leaner, a little bit chewier than a brisket. So, but that whole point of it was to see if we could get it cooked with great flavor, as juicy as we could get it, and it is definitely juicy. You could see the juices coming out the top, and when you cut into it, just a perfect medium with lots of juice inside of it. Flavor was just wonderful, wonderful flavor, and it's got a good taste. So I'm happy with it. Came out well, and for the cost, I mean, it's an amazing meal. Thanks for joining us. Leave your comments and suggestions below. Like the video. Please share us. And thanks for watching Delmarva Backyard.